CBS. Welcome home.
You know, we're going to wear the wheels off that streetcar in New Orleans before this show is over. Good evening, folks, and welcome back, everybody. I'm Tom. The color cast is on the air now for Friday night, the last day of January 1997 that there will ever be in the history of the world. Our friend Dennis Miller from HBO is on this program tonight, and from Hawaii, Brett Favre, the championship quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. As a matter of fact, we have some live pictures up from Hawaii where the sun is just setting now. It's the end of the day there. Look at this beautiful, beautiful sky in Hawaii, just off the island of Oahu tonight. Our production manager is out there, Kathy Hoban, getting things in order for Brett Favre's appearance a bit later on. And it's truly been a beautiful day in our 50th state. And as the man used to say on the radio, I hope it's even more beautiful wherever you are, in the National Farm and Home Hour. Speaking of the radio, there was a fellow that called us last night, myself and Steve Mason, from somewhere back east. And I mean, the other night I showed the picture of myself and Kelly Lang 20-some years ago, and you realize that some time has passed since you began doing these programs. But this fellow last night, he said, you know, Tom, he said, I'm 24 years old, and my mother tells me stories that she nursed me as a baby while she watched you on CBS. And that truly marks the passage of time. I said, what about your father? He said, my father doesn't like you at all. I said, really? He said, no, as a matter of fact, he says, when you came back on CNBC and later on CBS, he said, Snyder must have pictures. Meaning, you know, I have pictures of executives in compromising positions, and that's why they keep hiring me. I don't have pictures that are that good, I can guarantee you. I said, your dad really doesn't like me? He says, not at all. He said, he will not watch you. I said, isn't that too bad? I said, but then again, some you win and some you lose. I said, by the way, what does your father do for a living? He said, he evaluates people's mental abilities. I said, has he evaluated mine? He said, yeah. I said, and? He said, you don't want to know. I want to just recall a conversation that took place here with John Cleese. When he was here about 2 weeks ago, we started talking about the English language. You know, this language that we share in this country with our friends in Canada and across the pond in Great Britain is truly a very, very difficult language to comprehend if you consider people who come here from other countries and try and learn the way we speak. As Henry Grunwald did last night when he told the story of arriving here from Austria as a 15-year-old boy back in the early part of this century. For example, I remember our teachers in school saying, can you imagine a German kid or a French kid coming here and staying at somebody's house, and the mother would say to the kids upstairs, hurry up, and they would say, we'll be right down. You know, our language is truly not logical at all. And we were talking, Cleese and I, in a break, as to how certain phrases come into the lexicon. And we talked about one called a pig in a poke. You've all heard that one. And the other one is letting the cat out of the bag, right? And he told the story of back in medieval times, people would go to buy a pig at the marketplace in England, and they would put the pig in what was called a poke, a pocket, a little bag, okay? And the idea was you carried the pig home in a poke, hence the term pig in a poke. But oftentimes, if the merchant was going to cheat you, instead of putting a pig in the bag, they'd stick a cat in there, because a cat costs nothing. You could pick one up on the street, whereas a pig costs money at the farmer or at the butcher shop. So a lot of times, if they were to cheat a customer, they put the cat inside the poke, and they would take the thing home, and they'd open it up, and then we get the phrase, letting the cat out of the bag. To me, it's fascinating how language fits together and how we use it to communicate day after day. It just interests the hell out of me. So I thought I'd spend a little time sharing it with you tonight. That guy out there was right, I'll tell you. You know, I've got pictures, okay? Dennis Miller is with us tonight, and Brett Favre from the beautiful island of Hawaii, where he is preparing for the Pro Bowl game on Sunday afternoon on a different network. Saddle back, fire up the color teenies, and watch the pictures as they fly through the air.
The temperature inside your mouth is 98.6 degrees, the same as a sweltering jungle.
Ugh.
But the temperature inside a Winter Fresh mouth tastes... Winter Fresh gum from Wrigley's.
Icy cool flavor, icy cool bread.
that lasts. And lasts. And lasts. You know what I'm talking about. Try Winterfresh Gum for icy cool breath that lasts.
The Star Wars trilogy is back on the big screen, and each planet is celebrating in a different way. On Earth, people are playing Feel the Force at Taco Bell. Press the game piece to magically reveal if you've instantly won cash, one of millions of prizes, or a special edition Hummer. See the trilogy, Feel the Force. Play the game at Taco Bell.
Are you sure this is the right theater? I'm not even sure it's the right planet.
Of all the luxury cars in the world, only Cadillac with the North Star system has StabiliTrak, the world's most advanced integrated stability control system. StabiliTrak can automatically adjust the car's handling in all driving situations to help keep you in control. So ask yourself this: in the real world, which car would you want to be driving should the unexpected arise?
Because LA is a city on wheels, traffic information is vital. Traffic reports every 6 minutes only on KNX 1070 with exclusive drive time traffic anchors, airborne reporters, and freeway scanner system. Traffic reports every 6 minutes only on KNX 1070 in times of emergency or in time for work. KNX gives you more traffic more often. Traffic reports every 6 minutes only on KNX 1070 News Radio.
Hi.
Hi.
All these yours?
No, I'm a dog walker.
Well, can I help you?
Oh, sure, Cliff.
Come on, let's go, kid.
Come on. Come on, everybody.
Here we go. They all have a mind of their own, don't they?
They sure do.
Yeah. She's pretty tough, isn't she? When do you get your breakfast?
Whenever I can. I go to somewhere where I can have breakfast all day.
You know, I'll bet you'd like IHOP's French Connection. Luscious French pancakes and golden French toast with bacon, sausage, ham, and eggs, all for $2.99.
Have you ever walked any other kind of animals?
Iguana.
What do they eat?
Omelette.
Last year, one news station worked harder, dug deeper, went the extra mile. Channel 2 News. Winner of more Golden Mike Awards than any other station in Southern California. At Channel 2 News, we're not just committed to bringing you fair, balanced reporting. We're honored.
The Emmy Award-winning program Dennis Miller Live was recently signed to appear through the 1998 season by HBO. My congratulations to the wickedest wit on all of television, Dennis Miller. Thanks for coming in tonight. And
I had no
back.
idea they re-signed me.
Yes,
Thank you, Tom.
You must have pictures, huh? You got pictures?
I have got daguerreotypes.
The success of this show, and I must tell you, this is a good show that you do. I enjoy it immensely.
Thanks.
Why is this one so good, and the other one for Tribune you had trouble with? I mean,
Well, I'd say part of it is I got my ass kicked on the other one.
Yeah.
And America loves to, you know, if you get back in the line and shuffle your feet a little and act contrite, they love that.
Uh-huh.
And I was pretty cool when I got canceled, and so they'll let you back in. The second thing is, you know, I signed on with the Tribune. I don't want to trash those people. They're nice people, but they have that Midwestern sense of bottom line. Chicago Tribune.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these guys, it's the sort of place where you go for a business meeting and they've got bologna on white with Miracle Whip on it. You know what I mean?
Gotcha, yeah.
And they waited 6 months and I wasn't making them money and they were gone. And HBO, the man who hired me and the man who I work for now, Michael Fuchs originally hired me, and Chris Brecht, both are in the business of putting programming they like on their network, and the bottom line, always a consideration, more of a
But why are you so
one.
much more comfortable doing
I
this?
wasn't. I was comfy on that other show. I couldn't have been more comfortable. It was like to the point where I was, you know, laconic. I remember one night Brian Benben and I were talking, and we so hit a wall conversationally, I actually looked at him on the air and I said, I guess we're supposed to try to get out of this, but I think we ought to sit in this silence for a few minutes and see what happens. Now, how much more at ease can you get than that? And he looked at me and he said, what the hell? He was very existential about it. We sat there, nothing happened. The crowd got really nervous and built like to a peak. they all exploded with laughter. They couldn't believe we were just sitting there saying nothing. And then nothing happened. I said, see, there's nothing on the other side of bad TV, except good TV. So I contend that I was pretty at ease on that old show. I also contend that if you try enough things in this business, you're going to get whacked. It's just a very mercurial business, and, you know, I tried a talk show. You know, when I look back on it, you think, what was I on at that time that I took it?
Right.
Johnny was on his March to the Sea, and I decide I'm going to sign up. Carson's like the big, next to Lucy, to me, the biggest genius in the history of television is Johnny Carson. I only go with Lucy because she did characters, and Johnny was more himself. But you know, I don't think I denigrate him by saying he's up with Lucy. You know, he's a genius.
Right.
He was the best at TV. He's cool. He knew when to, like, disparage somebody. He knew when to console somebody.
Right, and here you come at 11:30.
And here I come in his last 4 months.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to try something. Don't watch Carson's last 4 months.
No, don't watch that.
Don't pay him off for 30 years. Come dig me. I'm on Channel 83 at 4 in the morning. What an ass-kicking, man. It's like walking in there like Private Eddie Slovak.
By the way, you can do anything you want tonight because we are usually rated PG, but tonight we're PG-14.
Oh,
They have to be 14 and older to watch tonight.
Oh, you're
which
rated
means your
PG-14?
Flora story would play really great
Listen,
tonight.
if you're PG-14, if you're 14 and you don't know what the word ass means, you got to wake up.
Yeah. Now, tonight you had John Lithgow on your program as the guest. Now,
Talking about UFOs.
Now, does somebody from your staff speak to him before he comes on to get an essence of what he wants to talk about or where it's going to go?
Well, you know what? Sometimes there's a tenuous connection between the guest, and John's affable enough to go with me, and the topic. Let's face facts, it's a topic-oriented show, but I'm also in the guest business. If I have a succession of bad guests, uninteresting guests, nobody's going to watch the show. So I have to meld these two. So, for instance, tonight we have Lithgow on talking about UFOs. Now, why? Because he's in a show about aliens. But the first question, I go, John, do you believe in UFOs? He goes, I don't think so. And you're thinking, wow, we got 10 minutes in front of us.
I know the feeling.
But I had to do the UFO rant because we've got it sitting there waiting to go, and it's a killer rant. You know, it's like a funny thoughts on UFOs. So I got to find somebody who'll talk about UFOs. Nobody wants to cop that they believe in them. They look insane. So I end up getting Lithgow because he plays an alien, and he tells me right away, no, I don't think so. Go ahead, kid, shoot.
But did somebody talk to him before he came on? And See, like, we tried to do that with you, but you don't like to do that, do you?
You know what? I look at somebody like you. I think this guy, how long have you been doing TV?
40 years.
I've never seen you ruffled. You know what I mean? I've been watching you for years. The thing I like about Snyder is I tune in, and if he went to the car wash that after,
you're going to find out.
He's going to tell me about the car wash, and I'm going to watch it. And I'm going to be thinking, it's 10 to 1. I'm watching this guy talk about buying a fir tree refresher at the car wash. But then I think, well, that's his charm. I'm not turning in to see the reinvention of the wheel. I like hearing about
it. It ain't going to happen here, pal.
But I mean, I watch you and Blake. I watch you and Harlan Ellison. I know the rhythms of it. There's a comforting rhythm there. I don't think it's about topic with you. I think it's about the fact that people tune in. They get the same feeling off you that they get off of a late-night DJ who feels comfortable in their own skin. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I have to say, hey, and then Tom can say to me, you know what I mean? It's not a Skinner box out here. It's the Snyder Show.
Exactly.
You come on and chew the fat.
There you go. Shoot the breeze. Yeah, I would say something else, but we are PG-14, yeah. I read about you this afternoon in one interview you gave to somebody. You said that in high school you would get great lines in your head, like things would happen before you in a class situation or social. You'd get great lines in your head, but you wouldn't say them.
Not too much.
Why?
Because, you know, I was just quiet. I was just a quiet kid. But I do remember sitting in the study hall next to this kid who was the coolest kid in the school. He was a split end on the football team. Everybody wanted to be his friend. Sat next to him in study hall. One day the teacher, the proctor, who was a pain, she was jumping on somebody. I said something under my breath that was really wicked. And he actually looked at me and said, did you just say? And I said, yeah. And he looked at me, smiled, and he said, why don't you walk with me to the next class? And it was like the Skinner box. You know, my whole life I'd gotten the electric shock. All of a sudden I had the corn kernel. I'm walking down the hall with the coolest kid in the school. I was hooked for life. I was like Chatty Cathy after that. Every day we'd go in, I'd tell him I was trying to be like the Algonquin over there, you know, and you get paid off for it, you know. I didn't have a lot of ways in. I wasn't that cool looking. I wasn't good at sports. So I found my way in was to be the jester, sort of. And you know what? That never changes. I was at a party one night. I'm not trying to drop names. I was at a party with Martin Short and Kevin Costner. We ended up in the kitchen. Costner's like the coolest guy in the world. You can tell he's been cool since he was like 12 years old.
Nothing ruffles
He looks
that
like
man.
$1 million. He's got the unflappables and, you know, he's just really cool. So Martin and I are in the kitchen, and people, as they come through the kitchen to get drinks and that, we revert back to high school. Martin and I are over there, you know, we're like two little elf nerds trying to get people to notice us. And Costner's just leaning against the fridge, taking a draw on that. And everybody's talking to him, and we're over there just invisible. Hey, look at us. See, you never change, man.
We are with Dennis Miller of the show you see every Friday on HBO at 11:30 Eastern Time called Dennis Miller Live. Brett Favre joins us later from Hawaii. And you can join us on the toll-free at 800-957-2788 after this break.
It turns day into night, air into fire. The most awesome sight you'll ever see may be your last. Dante's Peak from Universal Pictures takes you deep into the heart of nature's most devastating spectacle.
I did a lot of research, talking to volcanologists, going to Mount St. Helens, taken all that information, stirred it around, and taken out a story.
Oh, dear God, they went up the mountain.
And you have to race us to get here, kid.
We do not think you have enough time.
It isn't just lava rushing down a mountain. There are pyroclastic clouds. The mud bombs into floods and fires.
It's like working with another character. Linda and I are just co-stars. Volcano is the star of the movie.
When the lights go down, the screen explodes. Don't look back! Dante's Peak, rated PG-13. Starts Friday, February 7th.
It took this lone American detective only 2 years to do what the Royal Canadian Mounties couldn't do in 50 years. Learn about Canada's dirty little secret, Sunday on 60 Minutes.
Charles Bronson in a big world premiere movie.
These are serious killers.
He's trying to stop a crime wave.
We got a priest killer to catch.
That's hitting too close to home. Charles Bronson, Joe Penny, Diane Ladd.
Take them away, read them their rights, and then shoot them.
Breach of Faith, Family of Cops 2, CBS Sunday.
Sample readings are a waste of time. Look, by the time you get to the psychic, your 2 minutes are up.
Can't learn anything in 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Give me a break.
2 minutes? Please.
Well, those days are over. Now you get 5-minute free readings with the Psychic Friends Network Best Friends program.
2 minutes of free time isn't good for anything, but 5 minutes of free time, now that's an awesome deal.
In those 5 minutes, you can learn more about yourself than you ever thought possible.
5 minutes? It's a great deal.
To learn things that'll change your life forever.
Psychic Friends Network is a name you can trust. I mean, they've been around a long time. They give readings that are honest, direct, and incredibly accurate.
5 minutes? Now that's something.
5 minutes free? You gotta call now.
Hey, this is 5 minutes for free. You gotta try it.
5 minutes free? You gotta call now.
5 minutes free? You gotta give it a try.
No. Never. Absolutely not. Tired of hearing no when you need to buy a car? At Cars Yes, we say yes. Yes. Whether your credit is good or bad, we have a financing plan for you. Yes. Every car is fully inspected with our 205-point quality check. And yes, our exclusive Yes warranty covers you for 12 full months. Call 1-800-CARS-YES today. Cars Yes, the nation's largest used car company.
With Dennis Miller, here is...
You should do a special every year about what happens here between the commercial breaks. Put it on cable, 30 share. The Snyder commercial breaks, man. Underwritten by a grant from the Larry Flint Corporation.
We're saving all that on tape for our final show here. No, I'm serious. The last show here, whenever it happens, is going to be 4 or 5 hours long, and it's going to be a doozy. People have never seen anything like it in their lives. Donna on the toll-free in Peterborough, Ontario. Hello.
Hi, Mr. Snyder. Your show is such a treat.
Thanks, Donna.
I'd like to ask Mr. Miller if he feels with the advent of politically correct in our society now, how has that affected comedy? and the types of comedy that you can do and the things that you can say.
Well, you know what? I'm not trying to act like I'm disparaging of that question, but I pay so little attention to that. I welcome the advent of that sort of mind gridlock because it's allowed me to even look more liberated to some extent. You know, I like the fact that a lot of people get pissed when you express a opinion with an edge nowadays.
Right.
I'll be quite honest with you, it allows me to earn my living. I mean, it's a perfect time for a creature like me to dwell.
You were never better than the night I saw you on HBO, and Donna, maybe you saw this one too, when you looked at the camera and you said, you know, I don't care what particular group you're in, you know, homosexual, women, black, whatever, there's humor in what you do, and I'm going to make fun of it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not even that, that's just pragmatism. I mean, let's face facts. Comedians throughout the years have just poked fun at people. The only people I don't poke fun at are people who are, like, broken or defective. They're helpless. I mean, I'm not going to wade in on somebody who can't defend himself. But most people's peccadillos are merely that. They're not that much of a cross to bear. You know, gay people are not Fabergé eggs. Come, join in our reindeer games. You know, I mean, the only... I just don't, I don't owe homosexuals my approval. What I owe them is what I owe each and every, like, niche group, my complete and utter disdain, or like a non-interest. I'm just not interested in anybody's sex life.
Remember the crack you made one night? You did a show on homosexuality at the end or on the rant or somewhere. You really went after the bisexuals. You were very funny that night.
Well, I said that,
it's PG-14.
I said the only people I quibble with are bisexuals because I think at some point we'll all agree that you have to come down off the fence and pick a hole. I don't care what hole you have sex with.
No, it's
but
fine.
Have it regularly.
We don't have to elaborate. It's fine.
Dance with the orifice that brung you, Tommy.
Donna, you really cranked him up. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
But look at Mar, too. I mean, Mar and I have made great hay off this sort of reticence to talk about things, and I find it very liberating to watch Bill.
Tell him about the breakfast stop you made this morning, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, it was just a surreal experience. I live up north of, around 80 miles north of Los Angeles, and there's a little corner breakfast luncheonette, and I stop in this morning. There are only two other people in the luncheonette at the moment I'm in there, and it's Jonathan Winters and Michael Keaton. It was like the most surreal little star chamber, you know, and Michael and I sit there.
I can just picture
and
Winters.
we're just hoping Johnny will come over, because, you know, I love watching people get tangential at 9 in the morning, you know, and John, like, comes over and just starts that low, sort of funny mantra, and Keaton and I are like two little kids. We're just sitting there, baste us, baby, we're roast. Yeah. And John's off for 20 minutes on some mad tangent. And you know what's funny to me is he's talking about how he wants to do a good movie. And I said to him, Jesus, Jonathan, I mean, out of all the comedians that are mentioned in my group, the one guy they refer back to across the board is Jonathan, because he was the first existentialist almost. You know, I remember as a little boy sitting there watching him on TV before I knew what comedy was.
Oh, my Lord.
And they'd throw him an object at the end of a show, and he had to play with it, and they threw him an inner tube one night from a tire truck, or a truck tire, and I remember he bent it in half and opened it up, and he said, "Help me! Call Mrs. Jonah! Help me!" And even as a little boy, I thought, oh, I can't believe he thought that up. That is so funny.
What about the first time you saw Robin Williams on HBO?
Well,
what did that
changed my
do?
life.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not even akin to Robin, like as far as approach to stand-up. I'm a little more buttoned down. But I do, and that was a long time ago. That show, I'll say that show was so long ago. The celebrity cutaway was Joanne Worley in the crowd. You know, that's who they were showing in the crowd. And I saw that special not long ago, and I remember having the same sense of watching a guy who was completely, like, off. You know what I mean? He was washing windows on the World Trades, and he had unhooked the safety harness. You know, I just remember thinking how liberating that felt. And another important comic to me was a guy named Kelly Monteith, who showed me more of a way that I could do it. I remember seeing him when I was young, live. And Robin, you looked at and you thought, God, that must be fun. I can't do that. I can't be that unguarded. But Kelly, I said, oh, there's a way I could do it. I could do it something like Kelly's doing it, you know? And then Belzer was important to me, because I remember the first time I saw Belzer, he was so mean to the crowd that I had this, like, beautiful moment where I thought, oh, I see. They don't demand that you kiss their ass. They demand that you're competent. Because Belzer was just brutal to this crowd.
Oh, I know.
And yet they dug him in some weird sort of comedy, masochist
Well,
way.
but you told an interviewer, you said, you know, the thing about an audience is they've been sucked up to all day long. When they come to see a performer like yourself,
they
or
want
Belzer,
competency.
They want you to be they want you to be honest. They're not there to have their asses kissed, as you say.
Yeah,
They're there
because then they know you don't have the goods. If you're up there sucking up to them, they're thinking, why is this guy trying to be my friend? Why does Tony Orlando want me to sing the second verse of the song? You sing it, pal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I didn't write
exactly.
the damn song. I didn't like it that much. You sing it. Right. Well, that was always my feeling. I'd sit there and I'd go, I don't want you to be nice to me. Make me laugh.
Look at the success of Rickles, who went out there and just hammered him night after night. And who was the one, Fat Jack?
Jackie Vernon.
Joey Brown? Jackie Leonard.
Jackie Leonard.
I tell you, I hope now all your family dies of cancer, and you live in New Jersey the rest of your life. Huh? I mean, and people went crazy for this guy.
I saw Jackie Vernon.
You never knew I had that, did you? That's right there with Walter Cronkite. You know, hello, this is Walter Cronkite.
I did a benefit one night with Jackie Vernon. He was emceeing. It was for the LA Cops. I hope it was Jackie Vernon. Maybe it was Jackie Leonard. I'm confused. One of those two guys. I think it was Jackie Vernon. I think it was Hello, Mother. Is that Jackie Vernon?
No, that would be Alan Sherman.
Oh, jeez. Then I don't know who it was. I think it was, I'm going to say it was Jackie Vernon.
Okay.
We do this benefit for the LA Cops at the LA Shrine. There's like 6,000 cops there and their families. And everybody comes out and does a song, does a dance. I'm a comedian. I do my stuff. Anna Alicia, this actress who's on Falcon Crest, she comes out.
Yeah.
And other than being an actress on a TV show, and I'm not denigrating her, but she didn't have an appreciable stage talent. So they write this weird bit of material for her about weird blue laws across the country. It's all on cue cards.
Okay.
Do you know in Nebraska you could not drive a cow down the center of the, you know?
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
She totally botches it. She doesn't get one laugh. 6,000 people, it's really
And
embarrassing.
it's not her fault, okay?
Yeah, and she's a little out of her position,
Sure.
but she comes off. She's a little upset. Vernon goes out, he grabs the mic, and he turns and goes, "Thank you, Anna. Well, you guys are cops. You're good with clues. What was that, comedy? Drama?" Jesus. I was out, man. I was trying to act like sad for her. He said that, I went, boom!
Whammo!
Killed me.
We will continue with Dennis Miller and you on the toll-free as, I was going to say as long as you want to stay on, for as much time as we have.
Thanks for the hard sell, Tommy.
Okay. And then Brett Favre joining us from Hawaii. That's the hard sell. Notice how we keep pushing that. We'll be right back with Dennis for a couple of minutes after these messages.
Where is the teacher?
A beautician.
I thought you taught science.
Teach it? I didn't even pass it.
A beast. And a country about to get an education.
Lucille Ball. Ooh.
Fran Drescher.
Oh, it's so dark in this castle. It's hot for putting on liquid liner.
Timothy Dalton.
Stop! Is this the only job you can get yourself?
The beautician and the beast.
Could I possibly get a blanket without a head?
Rated PG. Starts Friday, February 7th.
They're coming from Japan, from Russia, from everywhere. But they all wind up in the same place. The Wound & Wound Toy Company, one of the world's largest collections of wind-ups. LA's hottest movers, shakers, and big talkers. So bring your inner child, your real child, and your Visa card. Because at the Wound & Wound Toy Company, you won't wind up with anything. Using American Express, Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Jesse, you're next.
I'm all yours.
Save it for the stage, Romeo.
Carol always gives it to me straight. Like when she told me about my...
I told him about Head & Shoulders. Regular shampoos just rinse flakes away so they could come back. Head & Shoulders helps prevent flakes from even forming. You see the difference? You look great.
Thanks, but will it get me this part?
Couldn't hurt.
Head & Shoulders, because great hair can't have flakes.
Hey, break a leg.
Did you know itchy, dry winter skin can get worse from hot water and soap? Did you know sometimes moisturizers aren't enough to heal itchy patches of dry skin? And did you know, among these, only Cortisone 10 with aloe has a medicine to stop itch and help heal. So this winter, when you have itchy patches of dry winter skin, even eczema or psoriasis, remember the power of 10. Cortisone 10. Powerful itch relief for the power to heal.
A devastating accident leads to a family tragedy, and a minister is tested.
He's losing his faith.
Will Chad Everett be touched by an angel after 60 Minutes CBS Sunday?
Mandy Patinkin returns to Chicago Hope as a doctor gets shocking news.
I'm kicking the bucket, Aaron.
A friend's dying wish is revealed.
David thinks that Ellie and I should get married after he dies.
You loved her once.
Who can a doctor turn to for the answer?
It's good to see some things never change.
An all-new Chicago Hope, CBS Monday.
When is heartburn worst for you?
When I'm lying down to sleep.
After my third cup of coffee. Or a spicy meal. Whenever it is, your worst heartburn calls for Zantac 75. See, Zantac 75 starts working fast, faster than Pepsid AC, and nothing works longer. In fact, doctors have prescribed the medicine in Zantac 75 more than all other acid reducers. The smart choice for your worst heartburn. Zantac 75, the final word in heartburn relief.
Fantastic news as Six Flags launches an incredible season pass offer. Buy now for just $44.95 and get more value than ever with unlimited visits to Six Flags Magic Mountain. Flying high in 97 is Superman the Escape, 100 miles per hour in 41 stories. The fastest, tallest thrill ride on the planet is a huge addition to Six Flags' awesome arsenal of thrill rides and water rides, plus the new Batman and Robin live action show. You get a big premium coupon book packed with savings like a free ticket to Six Flags Hurricane Harbor Water Park, a free visit for a friend, a free kids ticket, and a free parking coupon. Plus free special events and concerts, and your pass is good at all Six Flags theme parks. Visit twice and your pass is more than paid for. Visit Hurricane Harbor, bring a friend for free, your parking pass, your free kids ticket, 2 special events, your premium book discounts, subtract a low season pass price, you've saved hundreds. A Six Flags Magic Mountain season pass is California's best entertainment value. Call for yours now.
Here is Lynn on the toll-free in Toronto, Ontario. Hi, Lynn. Welcome to CBS.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good. Hi, Dennis.
Lynn?
Hi. Quick question for you. It's almost a follow-up to Donna's question. Have you ever heard back from any of the targets that you have skewered in your humor? People who might have taken exception to some of your comments or the things that you said about them?
Yeah, and you know what? I fully, I had this like thing where I remember thinking, well, they should understand it, and they shouldn't. Some of them should probably want to kick my ass. And I met a woman once who married Barry Goldwater. I met her daughter. Remember when Goldwater got married again to some like 39-year-old woman or
Very
something?
young woman,
and I read the story on Weekend Update one night, and I said, and the new Mrs. Goldwater, and her daughter came up to me once in a restaurant right over here on La Brea, and she said, hey, you said that about my mother, and I thought that was hurtful. That was wrong of you. You know, I looked at this girl, and I was going to try to get off the hook, and I looked at her, and I said, you know, you should dislike me. I'm not even trying to be cute here. I don't know what to tell you. To me, it was a joke, and I don't think that cruel a joke.
No, not really. Not
you know
really.
what I mean? And everybody's thinking that kind of.
Of course.
But then again, for me to like have you leave this thing where you love me and think I'm cute and that I was apologetic, that's crap too.
Yeah, it is.
You should like me. I took a shot at you should dislike me. I kind of took a shot at your mom, but I think if you really pause and think about it, it wasn't the most heinous shot. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and especially in the political world. I mean, they take shots at Clinton these days that are unbelievable. You know, with this sexual lawsuit that the woman is asking
you know,
for.
they're going to have to take a photo of his genitals.
Is that right? Is that right?
Anybody remember when the president used to sit for a portrait? Maybe I'm from a simpler time, Tommy. Clinton, he gets out of everything. Clinton is like James Bond. No matter how thick it gets, at the end of the flick, he's in a lifeboat with a chick and a bottle of Perrier-Jouet, man. You can never get Clinton.
You're kidding. They're going to have to take that kind of a picture, huh? Unbelievable.
They can.
Yeah.
I'm sure the globe is lining up already.
Yeah, I just can't see it on the $500 bill. Anyway, Lynn, I'm glad you called, and thanks for watching.
Thank you, gentlemen. May the force be with you both.
Bye-bye.
Your money goes a long way.
Gives a whole new meaning to the word inflation, doesn't it? Yeah. You and Ray Bradbury, you were charmed by him, weren't you?
Oh, Bradbury.
Isn't he wonderful?
You know what? I saw him on Politically Incorrect one night. He said something I just couldn't believe. It was so startlingly out of step with what people think now. It was, you know, something about, I can't even remember. I just remember thinking, this guy is so unfiltered. But I remember he told me a story once on my old talk show. It was my favorite moment ever there was when he was a young boy, how he met his creative muse. He was at some tent show, and he painted this picture in the Midwest.
Mr. Electrico.
Yeah, Mr. Electrico.
Remember, he told it
sitting
here.
in a tent,
Oh, man.
and he was a little boy, and it was like that sort of crackly evening out where you'd get heat lightning.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Mr. Electrico came to town, and he held a rod in this hand, and he put his hand down.
Live
and,
forever.
Yeah, and he grabbed Bradbury's hand, and his hair went up.
Yeah.
And Bradbury said, and at that moment, I knew I had to lead the creative life. And it was like, boom! It took my breath away. I thought, that is the coolest thing I've ever heard a guest say. And immediately, the guy from the Tribune came up to me and said, enough of that, you know, I knew I was in deep trouble. I wasn't even off the stage 5. What's that crap about the tent show? I said, man, I am in the T-zone here.
Yeah, the guy with the bologna sandwich on the white bread with a lot of mayo, yeah. And what about, you did another show on Dysfunctional with Wendy Kaminer.
Wendy Kaminer.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was great. She
hit you, didn't she? Yeah.
She gives no quarter. You know, it was just about how people blame everything in the world
on everything else.
You know, I know it's a tough life. I know it's a tough world to wake up from your REM-induced delusion that you're the king of the world to find that you're the condiment guy at der Wiener Schnitzel. But you got to quit you got to quit blaming it on other people. You know. And Wendy plays right into that. I thought she was a good no-nonsense guest.
Let me ask you about your private life. I don't see your picture with your wife in the magazines, like in the Hollywood Reporter and parties. And in fact, I was surprised that you went to the party with the two that you mentioned, Marty Short.
Listen, I don't lead a hermit's life, but I mean, I'm kind of a square. I'll be quite honest with you. I meet famous people who say, you want to get together or something? You do that periodically in this business. Sure. And I'm always a little reticent to call, because I think there's the defective party view that just feels out of sorts with people like that. You know, I'm not trying to be whiny. There's other times I can be with somebody and be very comfortable if I see they're a regular Joe. But when I think about big stars and I think about being with them, I always go to make the call, and I think, yeah, I can't do it. I'm going to come up. I'm going to be found wanting in some way. Yeah. You know, and maybe that's crap. Maybe they're just as nervous as you are. But the simple fact is, there's some people that are so big, and I think so highly of them. I think, if I'm with them, I'll start to try to go through hoops. I won't be myself. You know what I mean?
Felt that way once, and then one night I went out, and you know how things happen just on the spur of the moment. Just something happens, and one night my then wife and I are having dinner with Mr. and Mrs. Alfred Hitchcock.
Wow.
And I mean, it was such a wonderful evening, and we had such a good time. And all the things that you mentioned, I was afraid of, none of it came to pass. We were very, very comfortable. But I wanted to ask you about somebody in your life that's known as Caribou Boy. Who is Caribou Boy?
Caribou. That's a character I used to do nude for my wife when I'd get out of the shower.
Oh, really? Well, then
we're going to leave it at that.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. We're PG-14.
Oh,
they said press Dennis on this, and he might show it to you. I truly do not want to go there.
Believe me, it is not caribou season.
Drive safe on the way home tonight.
Tito, good to see you, baby.
Okay, Den, same. Bye-bye now.
You always make it nice, man.
Dennis Miller, live on HBO. Next, Brett Favre from Hawaii after this break.
No, all aliens. Third Rock is next.
Champ Foxworthy meets Racing Buddy Mario Andretti. You pasty face weasel. Then, welcome back.
Mr. Carter?
Mr. Rhodes gets teaching tips in a Sweat Hog reunion.
Hi there.
All new episodes NBC Monday.
Something big is coming.
Millions of people will die.
From the producer of Predator, The Firm, and Courage Under Fire.
The asteroid is hit.
We gotta get you out of here!
In 2 weeks, the sky is falling. Asteroid, NBC Sunday in 2 weeks.
You win up to 200,000 winners, some of whom will do a little time at Club Med. Get caught red-handed.
In trouble on wings! Hey, that's quarterback Steve Young!
Can anyone here fly a plane?
How about Brian here?
We're all gonna die!
Then Chicago Suns, Mike's first date in 10 years. Scary.
Attention all battle stations. This is not a drill.
The news radio on trial. Only one man can save them.
George Goober Lindsay.
Well, golly! Then Jamie meets a single mom.
Now all I need is a 7-year-old boy.
Just rent one. NBC's All New Wednesday.
Third Rock from the Sun, nominated for 3 Screen Actors Guild Awards. Catch the awards, Nanny.
I'll do everything from telling stories to changing diapers.
Put me down for one of each. Don't miss another all-new Simpsons on a special day, Friday at 8, 7 Central. Now, stay tuned for an all-new King of the Hill coming up next.
The forecast looks bright, thanks to Huggies Ultra Trim's outstanding leakage protection.
Many of you are getting the AT&T One rate plan.
I just got that plan.
I'm with that dime plan.
It's not a dime all the time to everyone, you know.
It's not?
No, only one person.
Well, what about everybody else?
7 a.m. to 7 p.m. weekdays, it's a quarter.
It's so complicated.
Well, the AT&T One rate plan is very simple.
How simple?
Calls from home, one low rate to anybody in America, anytime, no restrictions.
I'm switching to AT&T.
All right, so we're making a little progress.
No restrictions, no games. The AT&T One rate plan.
Of course. But I wouldn't recommend it.
Wednesday, 90210 and Party of 5 return with new episodes.
I love you. Oh, no, I didn't mean that.
Okay.
It's a new year, and this time...
Are you saying we might, you and me?
I think we might.
All in Love is fair. New episodes begin Wednesday on Fox.
Improve her education. Call 1-800-96-PROMISE.
Tonight, catch a brand new hour of comedy.
Get out of town!
Starting with Ned and Stacy, and then the impossible happens.
They seem happy, Al.
It's a miracle, buddy.
Al Bundy gets a new wife.
I'm dreaming. Pinch me.
Married with Children, tonight after Ned and Stacy. It's all part of the new Fox Monday night.
Stay tuned for scenes from the next.
More soft, full lashes than you know.
From tonight, one of these people will say goodbye to Melrose Place forever. Who will it be? Here's a hint. It's not who you think. This is one Melrose you have to watch next Monday on Fox.
And now Fox invites you to sing along with Ned and Stacy.
Ned and Stacy's marriage is just one big lie. He votes Republican, she'd rather die. They are as opposite as two can be. They're both nuts if you ask me.
Fox welcomes Ned and Stacy to their new home on Monday night. They'll be followed by the Bundys and an all-new Married with Children. But enough small talk. A brand new Ned and Stacy begins right.
ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
This killer's hurt Diane.
I'm so scared.
Now the thrilling conclusion.
This cycle needs to be off the street.
Everything changes for Bobby and Diane.
Do what you gotta do.
In one split second.
Sit down.
Of revenge. An all-new Blue. ABC Tuesday. Viewer discretion advised.
CTV invites you to see Disney like never before.
Tonight on The Late Show.
Man, I don't know if I can get my lips around this one.
A whole lot of Ray Liotta, plus comedian Norm Macdonald. Tonight, only on CBS.
Judge Luther Charbonnet may let you bend some rules.
Gambling's against law. That's why we're called gaming.
But one thing he won't let you do.
You dragged me and my family into it.
Is mess with his family.
And I'm gonna take you down.
Larry Hagman returns in Orleans. 2-hour series premiere Wednesday on CBS. Luxury leader. It's the caddy that zigs.
NBC Thursday is back with all-new comedy.
What? Yeah.
And laughs all night long.
That is so cool.
Starting with an all-new Friends. And hey, Chandler made out with Joey's sister. But which one?
I can't remember which sister.
Uh-oh. And the single guy turns celibate. Then, on an all-new Seinfeld, Kramer has a new little buddy.
What are you, an idiot?
And an all-new Suddenly Susan's got Bob Dole. What a nose for comedy. Plus, a bonus Third Rock and Frasier. Must-see TV, NBC Thursday.